Do you have an enlarged prostate? Do you go to the bathroom all night long? Take a look at this video. This is a great toilet for an enlarged prostate. If you have an enlarged prostate and you're a DIY, this is the video for you.
Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. You know, there's a lot of reasons that you might want to replace your toilet. And I mean, it could be rusted, it could be very old, maybe it's dated, it's color, so there's a lot of different colors that dates the bathroom. This one's interesting because we're going to put in an elongated toilet, and the reason why is because the customer, they want to solve their prostate problem. Take a look. So here's the toilet that we're going to replace, and this is a very good toilet. It works great. It's an American Standard toilet, great toilet, but they want to put in a larger elongated toilet. And the reason why is because of a prostate problem. And if you understand the prostate without going into a lot of detail, hard for the older man to get the stream started, and he dribbles quite a bit. So they want to be able to catch that. We're going to go ahead and pull this toilet. I'll show you how to do that. Real simple. Okay, start by cleaning off the lid of the toilet. Remove all the objects that are on the floor. If they have the toilet rug, you need to move that out of the way. We're going to go ahead and put some towels down here along the side, both sides, and a little bit around the back, because there will be a little bit of water that's going to come out. So we start by shutting off the water supply. There's usually a valve here. If you do not have this valve, you're going to need to shut this off at the main source that enters your home. But we have a valve here. We want to hold that handle to get all the water out of this tank. We got to get the water out of this tank. Next, take the lid off. Be careful with your lid. Set it off to the side someplace safe, because it can easily crack. Next, we're going to use a plunger. We're going to get all the water out of this bowl. Most toilet nuts are 7/16 inch. And if that doesn't get on there, you have to get a different size wrench. You can also use vice grips. We're going to set this onto the toilet nut, pull off this little cap. 7/16 inch wrench. And we're going to twist this off of here. And you know what? I noticed that this toilet bolt is loose. Can you see that? This toilet bolt's really loose. Hopefully it's still inside the flange. If not, then we need to put a screwdriver underneath of here to lock it in place as we turn, but we're good. So far, we're good. Take these off. Then take off the washer. There's another washer underneath. We might need a screwdriver for that one. It's got a little bit of wax on it. Perfect. So on the same thing on the other side, pull off the cap. 7/16 inch wrench. Should fit right on it, it does. And go ahead and loosen that up. Should be able to spin it by hand if it's new. If not, then you're going to have to work on it. But yeah, this one's spinning free, so we'll take this nut off. A little bit tight, but it'll come off of there. A little bit tight. Could use a ratchet, but I'm always afraid I'll hit the china and it'll break. So we just do it by hand. And yeah, you could wear gloves. Pull off the washers. Set everything off to the side. Okay, we have the water supply off. We've got the nuts pulled off of the toilet bolts. Now we need to disconnect the water supply. And hopefully it's nylon like this one, and you can easily unscrew it with your hand. Piece of cake. Might be a little water in here, but should be good. Pull this off to the side. Now we're ready to pull the toilet. To pull the toilet, I always suggest that you grab between the tank and the bowl. Good grip right here. This is heavy, very heavy. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to rock it back and forth. Remember, there's a wax seal under here. Rock it back and forth. Yep, it just broke free. We'll lift it up. Now we can waddle it back out. So we're going to take this toilet out and come back with a new one. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and remove the old flange. You need your gloves. So I can reach in here and just pull this whole piece right out of here. You see that? That was the old wax seal, and it had the old toilet flange. Now we need to clean this area off. It's just got wax around it, but we need to clean that off. And we'll go ahead and pull these toilet bolts. If you look closely, they slide back, and there's a larger opening right here that you can take the toilet bolts out. Okay, after you've cleaned off the wax from the old wax seal, try to get as much off as you can, because the new wax seal needs to sit and seat onto that plastic. We're going to go ahead and put in our toilet bolts. Notice they see the opening over here? They slide in and then they lock in place. And we want to get them centered on the center line so that it works good. And you can hear another toilet on down. Someone else is using the bathroom someplace else. But yeah, we're ready to go. Put those on. Try to get them square. And then set your toilet wax ring in place. I usually like to try to push on it a little bit so it sits properly. Looking good. Looking real good. Now we're going to set the toilet bowl. Turn it back over. And this outlet is going to go right down inside that wax ring. Perfect. Now we're just going to sit on it and wiggle it down until it seats properly. So you can see the toilet bolt comes straight up out of those holes where it belongs on both sides. Looking really good. So now we'll go ahead and put the nylon washer on. It just zips on there all the way down. Then we'll put on the regular washer. Then the toilet nut to hold it all in place. Hopefully you can see all that. And we're all set. So at this point, we've got the toilet bowl installed. We've got it seated onto the flange. On both sides, we have the toilet bolts installed. They're ready to go. Now, the next piece that comes in this assembly is, of course, the tank itself. Let's go get that. Next, we're going to go ahead and put on this toilet bolts or the toilet tank seal. And it actually goes over and around that nut. Just pop it right on there. Make sure that it's all the way around, all sides. And we're ready to set the tank onto the bowl. The tank is held to the bowl by these two nuts right here. Okay, so we're going to take these off and set them aside. Remember, there's two. Now we're ready to set this onto the bowl. Be very careful carrying your porcelain around. We're going to line up those toilet bolts, the tank bolts, to where they go into the bowl. Perfect. Now we're going to get the nuts and tighten that up. First the washer goes on, and then the nut. Because they're nylon, it's really easy to do this. Hopefully you can see that. Get them on there really good and snug with your fingers. And we'll do the other side. So I've just got those hand tight, and you can see it's still loose, right? So we need to keep tightening until we get that good and secure. So we want to tighten it up a little bit more. Then we want to check it for level to make sure that that water is not one side of the tank. It doesn't take a lot. Yeah. Nice. Very secure. I didn't use any wrenches at all, and that tank is solid on there. Really nice. So now we're ready to hook up the water supply line. Remember, all we have to do is hook that right up. This one came with its own nut, but this supply line is already built in. So we just get it on. Do not cross thread it. Get it on there and tighten that up. Super hand tight until you don't have a leak. That's what's nice about the nylon. I really like working with plastic. It really works good. Okay, let's see what we got. Turning that water on, and no leaks. See that? No leaks. So now we're filling up the tank. Nice, brand new, clean tank. Looks really good. This one has a fluid master in it. As that water level rises up, the float will come up and kick the water off. As you flush it, the float goes down and lets the water come in. On and off. Water pressure here is a little low. Take a few seconds. While that's filling, remember, we want to keep this tank level. That's why we tighten up one side, then we go on the other side and tighten that up. Okay, we're ready to give it the first test flush. Is look for leaks around the bottom of the tank. Looking good, looking good. Looking good. All the way around, looking for water. No water, perfect. And no water comes up through the toilet bolts. Looking good. Fill them back up. We'll check that water level and see what we have. Okay, water level. This one is a water saver, and we want to be about 1 inch to 1/2 inch below the overflow. And you can see that water, and I actually do see a water level mark on the overflow. It's right on the money, right on the money. So it's a water saver toilet. Hopefully it has enough power, which we'll find out here. We'll flush some toilet paper when we're all done. So I worked up a little sweat, because this is a really tight little bathroom. Now all it's left to do is to put on the toilet seat, and remember, it's elongated. That means that it's longer than it is wide. Okay, elongated. And real simple, we're going to pop these guys open. Could use a screwdriver, but you could probably just use your fingernail. They open up. Inside that same package, you've got the toilet seat nuts. There's also, let me open it up for you. There's also the caps that go onto the toilet bolt, so it looks good and keeps all that whatever urine away from the bolt itself, and water as well. Just keeps it nice and clean, makes it nice and tight. What we want is the toilet seat nuts. They've got a washer, a nut, and a nylon threaded bolt. Line them up to the holes. Start one on one side, one on the other. And underneath, we'll take the GoPro under with there. The washer and the nut, we go ahead and put them on. We just spin it down hand tight. Do the same thing on the other side, and we'll have a good, secure toilet seat. Right here at the top, you can see there's a spot for the screwdriver to tighten it up. Tighten that up. Go ahead and snap them in place. And there we have it, a brand new elongated toilet. All we need to do now is put that lid on. So remember how I told you to take care of that lid? You can see how they packaged this lid. Real important, when you're working on your toilet, make sure you take care of this lid. It will break so easy. I think I've probably broken 20 of them in 30 years. Fits right on. We're ready to go. So we tested for leaks all around. Everything's watertight. We need to do one more test, and that's to see how well it actually flushes. So we have to put paper in there to see. Oh wow, yeah. It took it right out of there. This is a nice little toilet. I thought the American Standard was a great toilet, but this one's a lot better. You can see the length of the bowl. So that guy with the prostate problem, you can get up closer to the bowl and not make that dribble leak. So you can see, and I know it sounds silly, and I'm not trying to make fun of that, but the man with the prostate problem, he can get closer to the bowl and not make that leak and hit the floor. It will go into the bowl and not any more mess. Really a great thing. The elongated toilet saves a lot of cleanup, around the sides, because hopefully the children, the young adults, the teenagers, middle age and older men will hit the toilet when they go to the bathroom. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.